What is up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my post-event recap for UFC Vegas 108. Going to try to get this done as quickly as possible. It's been a very long day. The pacing on the card was atrocious. It's been a rough couple days, so I'm going to try to get into it here. We're going to start off with the first fight of the card. We got Bashy going against Giannis. It's a fight where Giannis clearly didn't belong. I had Bashy and the under 2.5 same game parlay for 2 units at plus 105. I also liked the Bashy sub. Kind of felt like I should have just went all in on that. I mean, that was just a very clear outcome. Giannis can't grapple. We saw it in his past fights. He's been submitted before, and it was just a big, giant bounce back spot for Bashy. So Bashy doesn't kick off the card. The bout order is a little bit messed up here, but it is what it is. Bashy gets the first round sub. Up next, we have Pierre Rodriguez going against Catelyn Souza. I had Rodriguez by decision. Didn't bet it. Yeah, she looked good. What did the judges score this one? She had 7 takedowns, and it looked like it was a split decision. Interesting. Yeah, it was a split decision, which it shouldn't have been a split decision. Thought it was a pretty clear 29-28 in favor of Pierre, but Derek clearly saw it a different way. But yeah, Pierre Rodriguez, it's the takedowns. You know, she looked like Khabib in her last fight, and she pretty much did the same thing here. 7 takedowns, and you know, one of these ladies could wrestle, one of these ladies could not, and that was kind of what made the fight. So Rodriguez gets the job done, gets it done by decision. Next, we have Rafael Estevam, the cheater, going against Felipe Bunes. I had the fight ends by submission at plus 330, and then I had the fight doesn't go to decision in a parlay. If that parlay leg would have hit, it would have I cashed the 3 other legs. Of course, it's how parlays go. But yeah, very disappointing performance for Rafael Estevam. He closed at like minus 800. He missed weight by 5 pounds, and yeah, he went out there and won the fight. I believe it was 29-28 on all 3 judges' scorecards. But yeah, just no urgency at all. He had Felipe Bunes, I thought, pretty much dead to rights. Like, Bunes was death gassed round 2, round 3. He did land some big elbows in round 2, and then he had his back in round 3, but didn't even try to go for the finish. So yeah, I really needed that fight to finish. Would have made my night, but instead it's a 2-unit loss thanks to Rafael Estevam. They should probably cut him. I mean, yes, he's 3-0 in the UFC, but he missed weight like 2 or 3 times, so probably should cut him. Disappointing performance, but he gets the win. Next, we have Rodolfo Vieira going against Gore. Like most of the fights on this card, the ones that I did not bet, I called perfectly. I actually predicted Rodolfo Vieira wins his very first decision ever. I called the fight to a T. Gore, his takedown defense is very good, and that showed in the fight. And then on the feet, Gore, although maybe the better striker, and not even after seeing the fight, but it's just the urgency and the willingness to do stuff, and Gore just doesn't have that. So this is probably the last we've seen of Gore. Rodolfo Vieira gets it done by decision. I was looking at Vieira by decision. I was looking at the over, but didn't bet them for some reason. Next, we have Renie Nakamura, Nathan Fletcher. This one hurts as well. I was looking right at Nakamura, KO 1-2. KO 1 was plus 1,000. KO 2 was plus 1,500. And the KO 1 hits, and it hits within the first couple seconds. Kick to the body. Nakamura gets the win. And yeah, it was a mismatch. I like Nakamura quite a bit. I had him in a parlay that ultimately ended up failing. But yeah, I had Nakamura pretty confidently. I thought he could win by any method, decision, knockout, or submission, and he ended up winning by knockout. Next, we got Nick Klein versus Andre Poliev. I had a couple of really bad bets this card. This was the first, I thought, really bad bet on Nick Klein. I was going to pass on this fight all week at a pick'em, and then money came in on Poliev, and it kept coming in, and I ended up getting plus 140 on Klein. And ended up beating a lot in the line movement. The line closed like plus 105 for Klein, but it was a terrible bet. Klein looked phenomenal in the first 3 minutes of the fight, but he blew his load in the first 3 minutes. So, yeah, it's hard to win fights with 3 minutes of cardio. I still think Poliev is very bad. You know, I came into the week saying I thought Poliev was the worst fighter on the roster, but I was definitely wrong. He's the second worst fighter on the roster. The worst fighter on the roster is definitely Nick Klein. Probably the last we see of Nick Klein, but we'll be looking to fade Pulev in the future. And if Nick Klein does get another fight, I'll be looking to fade him in the future as well. And it's like Pulev didn't even look good. It's just Klein quit. Pulev landed one body shot and looked for the door. I mean, I don't know. It was just a bad fight, but yeah, got it wrong. Bad. Vallejo Silva. I called this one to a T as well. Did I bet it? No. Vallejo's by decision. It was plus 240. Silva's very tough. And this fight was competitive. Like, Vallejo's was like minus 400. This was a competitive fight. To an extent, right? Like, Vallejo's clearly was just doing a lot more, landing the harder shots. And that's kind of how I expected to play out. Whereas volume, I'm sure the volume was probably close. Oh, it actually wasn't close. Jeez, I thought it'd be a lot closer. So Vallejo's actually outlanded him 90-69, but whenever Vallejo's landed, it's just a bigger reaction, bigger shot. Danny Silva, a lot of weird showboating. I thought it was really weird showboating down 2 rounds is weird to me, but Vallejo's gets the job done. It wasn't an easy matchup. It wasn't an easy fight for Vallejo's. As we got Liza Zeleleski going against Neil Magny. And Neil Magny at 38 years old. Happy birthday, Neil Magny, by the way. Just turned 38 today on a Sunday. Neil Magny looked career best at 38 years old. And yeah, Zeleleski won the first round, was winning the second round, and then just gassed out. And I thought the game plan for Zeleleski was dog shit, quite frankly. You know, don't clinch up with Neil Magny. I mean, you don't do that. So I knew that was trouble. I was looking at the live lines. Zeleleski was like minus 800 at one point in the second round. Just disgusting. But yeah, I had Zeleleski inside the distance. I had the Zeleleski money line. I wasn't going to bet the money line, but money poured in on Magny, and I got Zeleleski at minus 150, but it didn't matter. Didn't matter. He got sent to the Magnyverse. Got dragged into the Magnyverse, so that one hurt. Yeah, too much exposure on Zeleleski, but yeah, Magny looked career bad. I haven't seen Magny look that good in like 6-7 years, so shout out to him. Cara Rosa, Norah Cornhole. I didn't bet on this fight, thankfully. If I did, I probably wouldn't be on here right now if I took a dog shot on Norah Cornhole, because, yeah, she looked bad. She actually won the first round on 2 of the 3 judges' scorecards, I believe. But it's just the ground game was very bad. And I had a feeling that Cara Rosa could grapple if she wanted to. I wasn't expecting her to, but, yeah, she did. She used that to her advantage and almost got her first finish. But I believe it's like 13 Cara Rosa fights have went to decision. So, yeah, ended up passing on this fight, thankfully. I was leaning towards Cornhole, but thankfully I stayed away. Next we have, it's hard to say which fight was fight of the night because there were 3 really good fights. Vallejo's Danny Silva, Rebecci Brener, and then Rebecci Duncan. I'd say this is probably my favorite fight of the night. I'm interested to see who gets fight of the night here, but I took a shot on Rebecci's KO 2-3. I thought it was a good look. I mean, this guy Brener is a dog. He has a good chin. He had a lot of shots. Yeah, I mean, how many? Espan landed 122, and Brener hung in there, man. Brener hung in there. He showed heart, and that's kind of what he does. He's got that dog in him, and you know, it's not going to work against a guy that's not going to slow down like Rebecci, but it'll work against some other guys. So shout out to Brener for that. Next, we have Mateusz Rebecci going against Chris Duncan. I had 2 units on Mateusz Rebecci. Horrible bet. He did drop Chris Duncan in the first round, but one of the judges did score at 30-27 for Duncan. Who did I think won the fight? You probably give it to Duncan, right? I mean, Rebecci clearly wins the first. I don't know what Camicha was thinking, but Rebecci clearly wins the first. And, geez, Rebecci outlands Duncan 38-25 in the second. Gets a takedown, but it's just the damage. It's the optics, the damage, and it doesn't matter really what's happening in the fight, but the judges will look at that damage, and yeah, Rebecci's eye was really bad. So yeah, I can definitely understand given the win to Duncan. It was a very close fight. I thought it was a lot closer than the crooked scorecards did indicate. but I'm completely fine with Duncan getting the win. The third round was razor close. Could have went either way. Rebecci actually landed an elbow that cut up Duncan's face, but yeah, Duncan gets the job done. And then to close the night, at least on a high note for me, I had Tatsuro Taira, Hung Sung Park. I had Taira inside the distance at -105 for 2 units. And that's probably what I should have just did this card. Was my 2 favorite plays were Taira inside the distance and Bashy inside the distance. But then I just added some dumb stuff. You know, I added the Zeleleski money line late. I added the Rebecci money line late. I had the Klein money line late. It's like the late ads got me. If I would have kept it just Taira inside the distance and Bashy inside the distance, it would have been a great night. But yeah, it was a levels fight. Taira looked -1,000, and that was kind of what I was expecting. Actually dropped Park on the feet, and then submitted him with a face crank, neck crank. So yeah, there you have it. So I was down about 4 units. I don't know what's going on, but got to get it together. On a 3-week losing streak, it sucks. It sucks I put so much time and effort into the research and the content, but yeah, bad bets. Got to make better bets. Klein was a bad bet. Rebecci, although I thought he could have won, it was a horrible bet, -200. Zeleleski, although he was -800 and, you know, winning the first 8.5 minutes of the fight, it was a bad bet. It was a bad bet. Other than that, I thought there were some good bets in there. So hopefully you guys did well. And yeah, looking forward to next week. See you later.